কথা বলে তারপরে মঞ্জিরাকে ইনভাইট করলে হবে।
আচ্ছা, ওকে। স্যার, আপনি স্টার্ট করুন। ইউ ইনঅগারেট দ্য প্রোগ্রাম and give the keynote address. That is the official system.
So let us start. Good morning to everybody. Under the topic entitled Food Supply Chain and Retail Management, we had entrepreneurship and business management on the last Sunday. And the second part or the last part of the program will be held today. Last Sunday, I pointed out that the food supply chain is a super large supply sector and is of most ancient origin. The food sector has unique problems of keeping the materials fresh and hygienic because of its perishable nature. It has a problem of application of barcodes. However, the market is growing with growing of the food processing industry. India being one of the largest producers of food materials, food processing industries in this country have tremendous scope and of expansion. More so during the pandemic period, where the school and colleges are functioning online and work is being carried out from home, keeping the people, particularly the younger ones, busy at home, and helping hands in the kitchen are not readily available nor sometimes desirable. The result is that Amazon Fresh, along with it, Reliance Fresh was launched in December 2019, and so on. People are investing in the food processing sector. Even in small investments are pouring in locally. Added with this, I do not know, but the three farm laws, the controversial farm laws of the central government and the resulting strike called by the farmers of some states, I do not know how that will have immediate and future impact on the food chain management. I would be happy to invite Madam to throw some light on addressing the specific problems of food chains in this country, so that the industry moves on with the confidence of the consumers about the desired quality of the product, the freshness, the purity, maintaining of the quality of the food that the consumers are expected to receive. So I would expect Madam to throw some light on these aspects also, along with his in her talk. So without wasting time, we could invite the speaker, or if Dr. Chakraborty has something to say, he can please.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I request Professor Pranavesh Chakraborty to say some few words.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Pranavesh, sir.
Pranavesh, sir. Yes.
Suprabhat. Very good morning to all the panelists and our chief speaker, Monjira Madam. On behalf of the department and as well as the university, I am conveying my hearty welcome to all of you, and to make the program a grand success. Whatever Professor Poira has told, that is the pinpoint question, and it has created a stirring throughout India. Not I can say, Professor Poida, our respected Poida, that it is not the movement of only some states. All the states are involved, all the farmers are involved, all the tillers and tillers are involved. Due to the distance from all corners of India, so many people are not in a position to move in this pandemic situation. But the thing is, if the supply chain management, which is coming up very quickly in India, if it helps the people, then obviously it is greeted. But if it is totally within 2 or 3 families, and they can open the chains, and as you have seen, when the retail chain management has come up in the medicinal sector, all the old small shops in the villages, in the suburbs, even if in the towns, they are totally in a disastrous condition. All are going to shut their door. It will create another problem for the people, because so many thousands and thousands of shops are there, medicine shops and food shops. They will be closed down, means another huge amount of people
Unemployed.
starving today or tomorrow or day after. So everything greeted, whatever advancement of technology, science, but it should not be excluding the humanity. So with this, again, I am conveying my wholehearted, warm welcome to Manjira ma'am and all the dignitaries in the panel and the students, the learned faculty members. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Over to Professor Rai.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, I don't need to introduce further Munjira or our honorable speaker, but I will straight away would like to add few words regarding the food supply chain and retail management. The reliable functioning of the overall food sector would not have been possible if it was not for a sound food supply chain management. An efficient supply chain improves the ease of doing business, scale down production cost, and improves market accessibility. In the present context, only 7% of the perishable products in the food supply chain are being processed. To encounter this, Indian government is offering several incentives to private and foreign investors in the food processing sector, reflecting the government's intention to attract investors. There is a huge potential in the food supply chain to enable India to reach out to its unrealized potential. But there is a problem unless it is all the agricultural produce is not timely transported, or it has not been good enough to store it properly. These perishable items normally goes waste to the tune of 23 to 25%. Every year we are losing some amount of the food items, particularly the perishable items. So once this process, this is food chain or chain supply is activated, so immediately this can be processed. Thanks to Professor Pravesh Chakraborty, he has pointed out a very good talk, definite items, that it should not ignore exactly the farmers. It should not, the middlemen also, they are going their livelihood. So we have to work out so that these middlemen also can be employed, or some sort of means of income they should get out of it. So they should be involved in the supply chain management. So let us understand the working of the supply chain and retail management with the help of the case studies. Okay, right now I heartiest welcome to Professor V. Poida, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is shortly joining, Professor Indranil Mukherjee, who has encouraged us to organize these kind of programs. And thanks to Professor Pranabes Chakraborty, he has given a very good talk also, identifying very genuine problems, particularly from the poorer sections. Now I request Manjira to start her topics. Okay, welcome to Manjira.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm especially grateful to MAKAUT faculty, MAKAUT, for giving me this opportunity today. I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to all the panelists present today. Thank you, Dr. B.B. Para. Thank you, Professor Pranabes Chakraborty, Director of Food and Pharmaceuticals and Medical Science and Technology, MAKAUT. Thank you, Professor Shebok Ranjan Roy, HOD, Department of Food Science and Technology, MAKAUT. I would also like to thank Professor Shoykot Moitro, Honorable VC of MAKAUT, who would be joining shortly, and Professor Indranil Mukherjee, Director of School of Management Science, MAKAUT, who also would be joining shortly, and Professor Niladri Chakraborty, who is there in the panel. Thank you, everybody, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Today, actually, the topic that we have today, it's a very debatable topic, because in the last 40 years, food production has upscaled from 40% to 500%. But the availability of food is still a concern for many. There are many people who still do not have the means of getting the food that is being produced. This can be certainly blamed to the bad supply chain management because of India is a big country, the infrastructural problems present in India, and also the middlemen who slows down the whole process of food distribution. The food supply chain and the retail management, both the sectors have had a lot of influx of capital, both from the foreign players as well as the domestic players, through government relaxation of norms. But still, there are a lot of work that needs to be done in this sector. In our study today on food supply chain and retail management, we will discuss in detail about these pain points of supply chain management and the remedies, if possible, to this particular sector. With this, I'll start my slides. Food supply chain and retail management. What is supply chain management? Supply chain management is a management of flow of goods and services and includes all processes that transform raw material into final product. What is the process line? It is the input is the supply. From the producer, it goes to the processor. From the processor to the wholesaler. From the wholesaler to the retailer. From the retailer to the final customer. This is the ideal supply chain link. And for the food sector, it starts from the farmers and goes to the customers. What are the three types of supply chain? The direct supply chain, the extended supply chain, and the final supply chain. What is the direct supply chain? The direct supply chain includes only the supplier, the company, and the buyer and the customer. So such supply chain methodology is taken up by big players like you can say Amazon or Big Basket, who directly procure from the farmers and sell it to the customers. And there are small players, very small players, localized players who also do the same, buying it directly from the farmers and selling it to the customers. Extended supply chain includes the supplier, the company, the buyer, as well as the supplier. This is the traditional supply chain management that we regularly follow. The final supply chain includes all the members involved in the flow of goods, services, capital, information, everything is included and it is passed on from the main supplier to the customer. Factors influencing food supply chain. What are the key influencing factors of food supply chain? Definitely quality. Today, everybody is concerned with the quality of the product, and the company is also trying to highlight the quality of the product through different means of advertisement. Technology, the technology, how is the food, what reassurance is the company giving in terms of technology of the food? Logistics, how is the food being transported? Information technology, regulations and consumers, the different regulations, government regulations that are being followed right now. The different agricultural supply chain products. And agricultural supply chain, the materials, that items comprises of the fresh agricultural products, agricultural food claim chains for processed food products. Factors influencing food production. What are the physical factors influencing affecting agriculture? As we know, it's climate first, and primarily it's climate, the soil that on which the farmers work, topography, economic factors like the market, where it is being marketed, transport, how is it being transport, labor, capital, government policies, other factors, everything influence the food production. Now, this is a very interesting study that we see, that agricultural and food poverty elevation. The GDP growth resulting from agricultural benefits have actually does actually benefit the lower strata of the income cycle. That are the people below the poverty line. They are more benefited by growth of agriculture. The GDP growth resulting from agriculture benefits the lower strata of the income line. You will see the red line out here, which shows that is the agricultural line, and the lowest strata of the income line, they are being benefited more than the highest strata. And with non-agricultural products, the lowest strata is definitely, it is not they are not very much profitable from this development of this particular sector. But the agricultural sector, when it is growing, the GDP growth rate of the country is definitely moving ahead, with lot of benefits going to the poorer section of the society. Future steps for agriculture industry. Precision agriculture, this enables farmers to predict climate changes and boost crop yield. What are the precision methods? It is with the help of sensor tech, robotics, the IoT, the satellite tech and drones are used to gather precise data of agriculture, and that is moved down to the farmers. Technology is transforming livestock farming. We will see that a lot of farms, the high-tech farms, are taking help of drones, which are circulating in a livestock in a farm full of cattle, maybe. When such drones are being implemented, it is actually recording the health of a livestock farm, the heartbeat of the cattle. So before they can project any kind of illness, it is being monitored, and accordingly it is being facilitated. Urban farming is the future of food production. Farmers are increasingly turning to growing food in artificial environment. As it becomes obvious that traditional agriculture is unsustainable, farmers are increasingly turning to growing food in artificial environment. Closed-loop systems, aquaponics, make it possible to grow fish as well as greens. Excess water from the plants is filtered and drained into the fish tank, and the fish waste is used as fish fertilizer. So it is a win-win situation for both the crops as well as the marine life. There are there are farms in UK uses 95% less water. How is it possible? They use a method in which crops are irrigated by very fine mist, making agriculture more sustainable. Agricultural sector is plagued by a wide variety of issues such as overuse of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, deforestation and soil and water conservation. Farmers are increasingly adopting sustainable agricultural practices. Sustainable farming can be achieved by implementing biotechnology, indoor farming, and a host of other practices. Will technology make human farmers obsolete? This is a question. This is also a myth that goes on, that farmers would be, in future, farmers would be obsolete when such technology development is more predominant. That is not the case. Definitely the role of farmers would definitely evolve, they definitely would shift, but the human farmers who are required for farming would not be obsolete, cannot be obsolete. Importance of food processing. What is food process? Why is food processing required? See, preserved and improved nutritional quality. Processing such as freezing preserves the nutrition that are naturally present in food. Other processes like cooking can sometimes improve the nutritional value by making nutrients more available. For example, cooking and canning tomatoes to make tomato paste or tomato puree or tomato sauce renders a bioactive compound lycopene more available to the body. Palatability and sensory improvements for customer satisfaction and acceptance. Virtually all foods undergo some or the other form of processing before they are ready to eat. However, with some products such as wheat, it requires quite elaborate processing before it becomes palatable. First, there is grain harvesting, then removing of the husk, stalk, dirt and debris. The cleaned up grain is usually cooked or milled into flour, and then it is often made into other products, sub-products like bread, pasta, etc. Future use. Excess production can be stocked. They can be preserved for future use. We can preserve these products for later use, such as seasonal foods. Nowadays, we are getting seasonal foods all through the year. So because these vegetables and these food items are being stocked, like tomatoes, cauliflower, peas, etc. Safety. Many processing techniques ensure the safety of foods by reducing the number of harmful bacteria that can cause illness. Example, pasteurization of milk, where the nutrients is preserved and the harmful bacteria are killed. Preservation. Processing convenience and choice. Food processing enables extension of the shelf life of the food. Example, ready to eat food products, the shelf life of that food is definitely increased. Reducing health inequalities and concern. It is recognized that people living on the low income have less varied diet, and this is reflected on poor nutrition intake and poorer nutritional status. Preservation of nutrition through processing such as freezing enables those without access to such a wide range of food to gain better nutrition from the narrow range of foods available to the people. Government initiatives to improve food processing sector. Now, government has given 100% FDI in marketing of food products and various incentives at center and state level to focus on the supply chain infrastructure. FDI norms have been relaxed also in e-commerce, where there is 100% FDI. In Union Budget 17-18, the Government of India had set up a dairy processing infra fund worth rupees 8,000 crores. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India plans to invest around rupees 482 crores to strengthen the food testing infrastructure in India by upgrading 59 existing food testing laboratories and setting up 62 new mobile testing labs across the country. The Indian Council for Fertilizer and Nutrition Research will adopt international best practices for research in fertilizer sector, which will enable farmers to get good quality, biocompatible fertilizers at affordable rates and thereby achieve food security for the common man. What are the educational initiatives taken by the government to improve food processing sector? The HRD has developed many schemes for the development of these sector, that is creation of infrastructure facilities for degree diploma courses in food processing sector, entrepreneurship development program, EDP, food processing training centers, training at recognized institutions at state and national level. Challenges faced by the food supply chain. Now, the food supply chain has many challenges that it's facing in day-to-day lives. That first is the high volatility in the wholesale market. This actually results in a lot of inflation rates. The result of this is the inflation rate in the products that we get. One day it is very high, potato becomes very high. One day it becomes very low. Suddenly there is a lot of fluctuation in the prices of the products. Fragmented nature of the food industry, it does not have a streamlined processing method. It is very much fragmented. Poor infrastructure in the remote area of the country, leading to a lot of bottlenecks in food supply chain. Third-party vendors, there are a lot of third-party vendors who have come in, and regular monitoring of these third-party vendors like Zomato, Swiggy, it is very tedious. Quality control, poor packaging, absence of technology, absence of sheltered storages. Food safety and procurement. What is the role of safety and quality in food procurement? Make sure that the food supplier is selected according to its performance and not on his or her financial offer. Make sure the inspection company is selected according to its capabilities and performance. Make sure the food analysis lab is selected according to the scope of work and credibility and not on its financial offer. Make sure the food chosen is in accordance with the beneficiaries of the food habits, practices, and respect national regulation of the recipient country. It is crucial to ensure that the pipeline staff knows what will be the quality needed for the duration of the operation, and the shelf life of the product is taken into consideration. Food packaging. The different types of food packagings are aseptic processing. This is for foods that are sterile and are to be maintained sterile. These items include milk and milk product drinks, along with other foods that are processed and needs to be served for long periods of time. Trays, boxes. The other types of food packagings are cans, cartons, flexible packaging, pallets. Pallets are used for mass transportation of products. Boxes of products are placed and stacked on the pallets, then wrapped to secure and decrease food movement. Wrappers, etc. Inventory management. What is inventory management? Inventory management is basically stocking of commodities in the retail sector. Inventory management is a systematic, not only the retail sector, it can be any other sector where inventory is required. Right stock is required. Inventory management is a systematic approach to sourcing, storing, and selling inventory, both raw material components and finished goods. In business terms, inventory management means the right stock at the right level, in the right place, at the right time, at the right cost, and with the right price. Food retailing. What do we mean by food retailing? Retail food is all food other than restaurant food that is purchased by the consumer and consumed off premise. It's not consumed inside the food retailing outlet. Food sourcing and procurement. What is food procurement? Food procurement is an end-to-end process that covers everything from planning purchases to negotiating prices, making the purchases to handling inventory, control and storage. What is food sourcing? Sourcing is the stage that comes before any purchases are made and can be considered a subsection of the procurement department. What we procure, what we purchase, end-to-end process covering everything from negotiation, pricing, making the purchases, that is food procurement, and food sourcing is a part of food procurement process. Now, this is a very interesting model of vendor segmentation that we have. The segmentation is done according to the priority levels, the priority 1, priority 2 and priority 3. What is priority 1? Includes the small number of strategic suppliers, as they often supply high value and low volume goods or services vital to the business operation. Like when we go to a retail outlet, we see that there is few goods that are kept of imported quality walnut, imported quality cashew nut, imported quality dates. All these things are just kept in front of the customers. They are very high value products, but low volume products that are purchased by the retailer from the supplier. So lot of spend, they spend 80% of the money on these products, and the vendors that are selected for these products are very less. Those who supply these products are very less, but these products are very risky because customers at times do not want to pay a premium for these products. But again, they are very advantageous because customers are attracted to the store because of such products. These are the priority 1. These are the strategic products that are kept by the retail unit. Now, number 2, priority 2 is the important daily use products like dal, chawal, dal, whatever is wheat product, oil, everything that is regularly procured by the retailer, and 80% definitely they spend a lot, that they are the high volume product, and the vendors are accordingly chosen. Number 3 is the transactional products. They are the less spent, that the less value product, but high in volume. Like you will see that when you enter a store, there are chips, there are stocks of biscuits, there are stocks of different types of chocolates and toffees that are stacked in front. These are very less volume that is spent, the retailer spends on them. That's why the number of vendors also increase because of this particular section. So according to these priority, a retail unit segments the suppliers who are going to supply product to his outlet. Supplier development. What is supplier development? Supplier development is a business strategy that encourages working closely with diverse suppliers to help boost performance as well as drive continued growth. It involves embracing the expertise of the supplier and aligning it with the goals of the purchasing organization. So with this, the retailer harnesses the suppliers in such a way so that best productivity, best he can acquire the profit. He can access products from the supplier properly and give the best benefit, earn best benefit to the customer and earn best profit. Risk development, risk in food supply chain development. The various factors are trade wars that are continuously being fought between countries that results to raw materials shortage, which again leads to the bottleneck of food supply chain. Recalls and safety scares. There are many products which are manufactured, supplied, but later on they have to be recalled back because of faulty supply issues or faulty production issues. Climate change, tough environmental regulations that are being implemented by the government, economic uncertainty and structural change, industrial unrest, battles at the border as we are seeing presently between Indo-Chinese border. Supply chain management in the present context. What is the initiative taken by the government? The government's initiative on making India a global manufacturing powerhouse. Government stress on made in India initiatives. Introduction of GST, that is the goods and service tax. Liberation of foreign direct investments. Government focus on national highways. Government focus on freight corridors. The country's freight corridors covers 15. This is a very interesting fact. 15 states all over India. It is scheduled to be completed by December 2021. Currently, a train carrying a cargo travels at the rate of 25 km per hour. But with this freight corridor, the speed can be increased from 70 to 100 km per hour, which can carry double the cargo and double the quantity of the production. Managing supply chain risk, external supply chain risk, which are the external factors that are hampering the supply chain. That is a demand risk. If you cannot, there is a miscalculation of the product demand. Supply risk, when there is lot of bottlenecks due to raw material procurement. Environmental risk, business risks, internal supply chain risk, which are actually present in the business, because of which there is a lot of supply chain bottlenecks happening. Manufacturing risk, business risk, planning and control risk, mitigation and contingency risk. Logistics. Definition of logistics. What do we understand by logistics? Logistics refers to the overall process of managing how resources are acquired, stored, and transported to the final destination. What is the process of logistics? Storing of raw material, production, processing and packaging, storage, wholesale distribution, retail distribution to the consumers. Challenges of the food logistics sector: lack of traceability. When the product is there in the streets, you cannot very well trace it back to how is it moving, what is the condition in which it is kept. Inability to maintain the safety and quality of the product. The reason that the safety and quality measures cannot be kept always. Inadequate communication between parties, rising supply chain costs, failure to track and control inventory in warehouses and stores. Cold chain technology and management. What is cold chain management? Cold chain management refers to both the operational aspect of maintain a temperature control environment throughout the supply chain, as well as ensuring compliance with the temperature requirements. It's basically how it is stored, in which temperature the food are stored for future use. Transportation and in cold chain. What are the foods that are transported in food chain? There are food and beverages, high-end foodstuffs, meat and seafoods, poultry, dairying, medical goods like vaccine, pharmaceutical and healthcare products, temperature-sensitive chemicals, paint, other temperature-sensitive items like plants and flowers, synthetic products, etc. Food regulation. What is food regulation? Food regulations are the legal rules Food regulations are the legal rules that are issued by a government agency in order to implement the various food safety and food hygienic procedures in order to maintain an assurance of good and consumable quality of food product. That is how it is regulated. The food product, how is it regulated to maintain a good hygiene food? Food safety and quality. What do you mean by food safety? Food safety refers to all those hazards, whether chronic or acute, that may make food injurious to the health of the consumer. Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, that is the FSSAI, has been mandated to perform various functions related to the quality and standards of the food. What do you mean by food quality? Quality includes all other attributes that influence a product's value to the customer. Concerns of food safety. Specific concerns about food safety have usually focused on specific concerns about food hazards have usually focused on microbiological hazards, pesticide residues, misuse of food additives like food coloring and all that is given to the food that reduces the quality and the value of the food, chemical containment including biological toxins, adulteration, etc. Attributes to consider while designing the food supply chain: the relationship and governance of the food supply chain, coordinates and integration, collaboration among stakeholders, supply chain agility, logistic management, traceability, packaging, and waste management. Compatibility standards. What are the different compatibility standards? They are the ISO 22000 series, FSSI, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, private food safety standards. What is sustainability? Sustainability means what we are keeping and what we are letting keep the next future generation, means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Common actions towards sustainable agriculture. What are the major components in sustainability? Environmentally sound practices, social responsibility, the CSR that the companies usually launch, the company's social responsibilities, climate change and water scarcity, economic viability. Now we'll go to a few of the live cases. One of them is Paramount Traders. What is the company profile of this of Paramount Traders? It is registered as MS Paramount by the name of MS Paramount Traders, located in Durgapur. It was registered in 1956. It is a third generation owned business. Late Sheikh Gopal Mohammadin was the founder of the Paramount. And now he is succeeded by Sheikh Abu Zafar, who is 65 years old, along with his son Imran. Abu Zafar completed his graduation and from Asansol and then joined his family's business. Product knowledge: almost all bakery confectionery products such as breads, pastries, birthday cakes, patties, burgers, cream rolls, cream filled cakes and others. So this is this model. They actually manufacture the product, they retail the product, and they manufacture the product, distribute the product and retail the product. Business spread: it is a manufacturing company with the main office at Hattola Road, Station Bazaar. They have 2 manufacturing plants at Asansol and stores in and around Durgapur, Asansol and Bardhaman city. They also own franchisee stores and they have a manpower of almost 40 and to 50 people. Supply chain management: the raw materials are procured, the food is baked in the manufacturing plant, packaging is done manually or by various packaging machines. Finished products are stored inside manufacturing units until and unless collected by the Paramount owned vehicles and supplied to different retail units according to the demand. Online delivery is also done through Zomato and Swiggy. What are the food regulations and standards? Paramount maintains high food safety standards as per food safety laws. Proper hygiene is maintained during manufacturing. Food regulation standards are done according to government rules and licenses have been acquired. What are the challenges faced by Paramount Traders? Food wastage, as food has to be completely wasted after a certain time frame. And the other challenge is definitely the continuous competition that goes on in the market. The next case study we are doing is of Big Basket. Big Basket, what is the company profile? Big Basket started its operation in 2011. Now, this is a very interesting model. Big Basket actually started its operation, the owner started its operation in 1999 with the name of fabmart.com to sell foods, to sell books toys and groceries online. But at that stage in 1999, the market was not developed for online food trading. The online market was not very, it was in a very nascent stage. So they did not have any success with the venture that they had. And they actually had to sell off their venture to Aditya Birla. But then again in 2011, when they started with Big Basket, it grew to be one of the largest in India. It's a Bangalore-based company with 4 owners who are V.S. Sundarakar, Hari Menon, Vipul Parekh, Abhinay Chaudhary and V.S. Ramesh. The company operates right now in 30 cities across the country, reaching more than 100 million customers and processing more than 1 lakh orders every day. What is the product and service spread? The company delivers more than 18,000 products every day and has more than 1,000 brands in its catalog, from cooking essentials such as oil, basmati rice to everyday laundry detergents.
Hello. হ্যাঁ ওই মঞ্জিরা। হ্যাঁ।
What are the challenges faced by the company? When Big Basket was launched, there was no concept of apps. Hence, geotagging of addresses where the delivery person can easily find the addresses was not possible. Big Basket has kept on-time delivery as its ethos since it started. Big Basket had to use the latitude-longitude technique when they started. And this technique, when they were fully developed, this was actually, it was so highly accurate that Google Maps purchased data from Big Basket. The second challenge that they faced was delivering fresh food is definitely a big challenge, even so, because it's India. This hurdle prevented Big Bazaar from purchasing perishable goods directly from the farmers. Eventually, Big Basket built its own cooling infrastructure, walk-in freezers, chill rooms, refrigerating warehouse, and a fleet of trucks, enabling the company to purchase fresh products at competitive rates. The third challenge that they faced was because India had a very diverse market where the food taste of different region was very different from the other. Hence, to succeed in Pan-India, Big Basket has to develop to local circumstances, buying staples of localized consumables from leafy greens in Mumbai to Sona Masoor in Bangalore. Indian customers have the fourth challenge that they face was Indian customers have an ingrained habit of touch and feel. They feel that the quality can be best tested if they feel the product properly. To counter this, Big Basket introduced a no question asked return policy and allowed customers to do partial return if they were not satisfied with the quality of that particular item from the order. This move helped the company to garner customer trust. Now the success story. Why is Big Bazaar such a success story? Because of their, first and foremost, the inventory-led model. With the growth in business, the company moved to an inventory model for most of its products in 2013. Inventory models means the company purchased products from suppliers like P&G, HUL, farmers, mills, etc. Since the company purchased in bulk, it gets a high discount on the cost price and passes a small amount to the customers. However, most of its profits are generated from its private labels. Fresho, Royal Organic, Happy Chef, Gourmet, where the company purchases unbranded products or where there is less competition and adds their labels and then they sell it in their own platform. Big Basket maintains 10 days worth of inventory, which is one of their big strategies, because actually the industry standards is an average of a month. A lower amount of stock allows the company to save money and contain losses from perishable items, that is, food wastage is lowered. Big Basket wastes around 5% of its perishable, which is a global benchmark. The company attributes these two elements to help bring down their cost. Hyper-local delivery. Big Basket credits these three things in the success of its customer proposition: same-day delivery, high fill rate, and on-time delivery. The company uses a charge of 30 rupees per delivery. The move was hugely successful and helped the company achieve higher fill rates and almost double to reach 18%. Big Basket has tied up with more than 18,000 neighborhood grocery stores. This is another model that they use. They tie up with a nearby grocery store, and then they collect, from where they collect items and then deliver it to the customers. So with this, they save a lot of time and they can add a lot of price benefits to the customers also. This results in decreasing wastage and adding in increasing inventory prices. To achieve its 4-hour delivery target, Big Basket has revamped its warehousing operations. The company has invested in a large warehouse, supposedly 3 times larger than the earlier ones. Initially, what the founders did, they went to the market and purchased the products. They had to go to the market at 3:30 in the morning and then purchase the products. But with their revamp of their warehousing system, as the company grew, they had their own warehousing systems in which they invested in large warehouse where a lot of things could be stored. Exceptional customer services. Big Baskets offers lucrative discounts, bundling techniques, on-time delivery, and convenience that helps them retain customers and maximizes sales. The company employs a large number of service staff to handle consumer complaints with a target of answering 95% of the calls within the 3rd ring. The company promptly resolves queries ranging from missing items in order to delivery to the deliver boy's hygiene. What is the 4th reason for their success? The technology and artificial intelligence. Big Basket's automated system flags or anything out of place in the location it services. The firm seeks optimum route mapping so that its truck travels the least possible distance to make as many deliveries as possible. Clustering orders for deliveries makes a lot of difference to profitability. Once a delivery is made to a particular address, Big Basket uses that data so that later on when the customer logs in, the data is preserved. For example, data of that customer is preserved. They also have a business proposition of smart basket where if you purchase a product in a regular basis, that is stocked in their system, that is stored in their system, so that when you want again log in for the next time, those products you do not have to search in the app for these products. These products are automatically added to your basket. This system is known as the smart basket. So in these two big studies that we saw, we have seen two players. One is Big Basket, that is a bigger player, and a smaller player that is Paramount Industries. But both of them face the same kind of challenges. Both of them, the success story is because that they have invested a lot and they have studied and invested a lot on their supply chain management. So with this, I would like to end my discussion today, and I would leave the floor open for any questions.
Thank you very much, Manjira. You had given a very good presentations. Now I look for some questions. Anybody has got any questions from the participants as well as from the panelists? Uh, Good morning. I think I don't find any questions right now. So I request the panelists. Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, you're mute. You just unmute yourself. Sir, unmute. Unmute. Yes.
Where sir,
Okay.
please unmute your mic, sir.
So I have actually not questions, but we can have some interaction. Say, number one, I have a good many points. Number one is, what do you consider to be the fate of, or say, introduction of greenhouse agriculture in this country? That is controlled environment, agriculture under controlled environment. We have enough land, but that is not sufficient for the future. So should we go for greenhouse culture,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
agriculture under
Definitely.
greenhouse?
We should
So,
definitely go for greenhouse agriculture.
and then that should be, the products should be costlier compared to the produce at the present time.
Yes, sir. The customers are ready to pay a premium with better quality products. With the customer is definitely, it's these big players are actually capitalizing on all these things like organic product, like greenhouse production. Whatever these, they are marketing products in such a way that these products come into highlight, and
But
they
is
are
there
labeling the product.
Anywhere in India, whether there is any agriculture, this greenhouse agriculture being practiced? Do you know anywhere in India?
No, sir, I'm
Do
not
you
aware
know
of where
in
is it,
any part of the country? Okay,
where greenhouse
okay.
agriculture is
And
being done in the
then
country.
in this country. So then the next question is about the pesticide. You see, due to the tyranny of pesticides, I should say, all our ponds, rivers, canals being extremely polluted. Now, how to get rid of that? Excessive use of pesticides by the cultivators. And that is also, you see, coming to the food material also. So how to get rid of it in future?
So a lot of work is being done because of the
Excessive
food
use of-
regulation. The Food Regulation
Hmm?
Authority of India is definitely doing their work to minimize the amount of, regulate the amount of pesticides that are being used in their products. But definitely, yes, this is a major concern in today, where pesticides, adulteratives are added in such an amount that its harmful effects are affecting the consumer, the end line consumers. They are being badly affected by the use of such bad pesticides. The regulations are being done definitely, but still we are being.
Think about
Sir.
added with that. Think about this in Bengal, the sweetmeats. All that the colors are being added or flavors are not health friendly. And not only that, the date of manufacture that the government wants, they don't like to comply with that they won't write the date of manufacture. Means date of manufacture and date of expiry. So these things are not being complied with. If the people do not obey, then what to do?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And because India is a very diverse country where the lower strata of the income, they are not at all concerned with these particular things, and that constitute a larger population of India. So there are a lot of relaxation. Everything is taken for granted for many cases, many things.
Then I should suggest that you people who are in food, you should embark on a common awareness program to awaken the people against all these things, that it is for your own interest that the government is trying to implement such rules or laws. Say, for example, this case of stubble burning, though an alternative process has been devised by the CSIR laboratory, but still the air is being polluted by burning stubble. So this is a case in point. Similarly, I do not know whether there is any national accrediting agency like NABL for food testing laboratories. In pharmaceuticals, drugs, you see, you have to go for NABL accreditation. Similarly, for food testing laboratories, whether there is any accrediting agency of the government or of public private bodies, I do not know. Whether you know, madam, you know the answer.
So we have got a lot of testing labs that are coming up.
But who is going to accredit these labs, whether they are carrying out the proper things, proper testing under the given protocol? Who will say that? The laboratories are testing and giving you the results. Who will accredit this result, that the result is all right?
Okay.
Like in drugs and pharmaceuticals, the laboratory is accredited by NABL. Your engineering college is accredited by NAC or NBA. Similarly, there should be an accrediting agency for the food testing laboratories. Is there any such body now?
Sir, FASAI is doing this job, sir. FASAI. FASAI is doing this job, sir.
Like NABL.
And NABL.
Like NABL.
Yeah. FASAI is doing all these.
Like NABL.
Yeah.
Like NABL or NBA.
Yeah.
Does this organization send experts to check the quality of testing being done by
a lot of
particular laboratory?
Yeah, there is Central Food Laboratories in Kolkata, by Kolkata, as well as the state government has got lot many laboratories right now, and also the corporation or municipality, their Calcutta Corporation is having their laboratories, own laboratories, and in case is there any problem, they find out a third party, say Central Food Laboratories or CFTI or this thing. FASAI has accredited lot of laboratories that way. They are the monitoring agent. They are the monitoring agent for the quality of the products or quality of the services also. So food particularly, this is related to the food items. Now the first question I'm going to answer your first question, that is regarding the this pesticides problem in-house. But this has started under Bidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya. They are in West Bengal. Last Thursday I visited the lab. They have started this job long back under the central government project. This for the this is called to control that they got a very good farm house also, and they started organic farming there. And for pesticide control, this is a actually meticulous problem for the pesticides, because there is not much known biopesticides is available. Few are available, but not much more available. but biofertilizers like say vermicompost and nitrogen fixing bacteria is available. Is lot many jobs have been done in this field, but for bioinsecticides or pesticides is not available. A lot of people are claiming that they have got the biopesticides or this thing, but this is basically mixed with chemical components. This is a great problem. This is a great challenge practically for bioinsecticides. But biofertilizers are coming up very nicely. They are doing very good business. In West Bengal, practically is lagging behind, but much lagging behind. But in other places like say Madhya Pradesh, these are area where biofertilizer have been used for bacterial product, where the dal and the actually protein-rich compounds where is being produced, say dal, soybean. So they are using this kind of nitrogen-fixing bacteria as a fertilizer, as a source of fertilizer, because they symbiotically absorb the atmospheric nitrogen and produces the fertilizer there. And similarly, phosphorus or producing phosphorus stimulations, a lot of stimulation are there. But the problem is the bioinsecticide or biopesticides, not much available so far. There are not many research has to be done. So this is for this is your organic farming. So a lot of people have started in Rajarhat area. A lot of people are doing jobs. Even in my house also, I am trying to develop a small. I have already purchased, say, invested 15,000, more than 15,000 rupees for purchasing good quality of soil. You know, and I'm trying to do it of my own because of my own interest. And second point I'm answering, that is regarding the quality of these things. This is really true. Central government is trying to impose these kind of things. The sweet producing company, they should fix the thing. But in India, particularly in the West Bengal, there is no quality control so far. You know, in my every municipality should have a drug inspector, should have a food inspector. They will take, and every municipality should have a laboratory of its own. This is possible, but you know, some sort of initiative has to be taken. Otherwise, the Bhagar episode should not come up. You know, despite all this fact that there is, in fact, we developed a course in MAKAUT. This is very good for making our awareness among the people also. This course has been designed in such a way, and food science and technology, so that students will come across and will understand the method of identifications of adulteration and this. But you know, this food inspector has to be, you know, monitor. You know, most of the time we find that food inspector who are becoming the food inspector, either graduation, science graduate or bioscience graduations, they are doing this, coming into this picture. But no food technologies are not coming up. So our course that way. So we need to have a more, you know, in North Choice Pargana also for drug. There are only 2 inspectors are there for drug inspector in North Choice Pargana. So you know, whatever the sample is being taken out, if one is taking leave, the other has to cover up all these things. So we need to have a very good manpower. And this could have been done, you know, from the food items, particularly for the perishable items. If it is processed at the bottom level, in the where the agriculture produces, if it is semi-processed and then it is being transported, that's what Reliance has come up. Unfortunately, West Bengal, they have not, they are not allowed to do their business. But this way, they have a plan. They had a beautiful in the northern part. They have done. They in the block level, they set up small processing lab, quality control lab also there. They take the material from the agriculture producer, and the farmers are getting very good amount of prices also. In the same line, the NDDB has developed. You know, so this has to be done. The processing should start at the block level, at least the semi-processing. So that this can involve the middleman also. That can be, they can be trained to do this job, this kind of jobs. So there is a lot of, it doesn't mean, it is a political decision that Reliance should not be allowed, or no one should be allowed to this supply chain management and this thing. But ultimately we are loser. Just like the computer, we should not allow the computer in the in the LIC building. and we thought that this will create the employment generation problem. But this ultimately we are loser. You know, the South India, Hyderabad, and these are the area, Bangalore, they are now coming up very big way. So in our country, the basic problem is economic and scientific decisions are being taken by politically. So this is very bad to us. So that's what we are lagging behind, particularly in West Bengal. This is a very critical problem. You know, whenever you are going to do a good job, in my locality today, is the central minister will come to inaugurate our the gas ONGC plant. They are trying to inaugurate this problem, but agitation has started. I don't know. This is going to be one more Singur. So it is a basic problem. So, you know, employment generation can be done. Reliance has not been allowed to work in West Bengal in left front rule, under left front rule. But their objective was to, because I had a talk with them also individually. So they wanted to set up their small processing plant at block level to employ the more people. Even they, and this process or semi-process and every stages, from the supply chain management, every stages there should be a quality control. You know, there is no shopping mall in my locality. My daughter wants soybean milk, but it is not available. I have for say 200 or 100 rupees, I have to spend 300 rupees to purchase all those things. So this has to be, you know, this is not that we should do for the poor people, but ultimately what happens from our income tax, we are paying a huge amount of income tax, and this is being wasted by dole system. You know, in midday meal, it's a wastage of money I find in my locality. This is not required.
Anyway,
free ration. This is not required. And I am also getting the rations. My daughter is getting the midday meal, but they are not taking the midday meal. Where finally, ultimately, this will go. So this will go to the OLX. There's a terminology is being used right now in the ration shop. The OLX may dal do isko, and they are getting their cash. Ultimately, who is going to the loser? We are the taxpayer. So this has to be done properly. I feel, you know, this is very bad that poor people are not served properly. I don't want to say anything.
Let us not go further with that.
That is what. But this is true. Actually, Professor Pravesh Chakraborty rightly pointed out, we should do for them. But at the same time, how the money will come? There should be essentially a shopping mall, so that those people who can spend money on this, they can invest this, earn this one. And we should have a monitoring cell there. So that's why we need to have a very, you know, I just gave you the example that in North Choice Purgana, only 2 drug inspectors there. So North Choice Purgana is a big this district. So similarly, there is no food technologist also, food inspector is there. So who will control? Because this way,
let us move from this topic.
That's what I feel that I am able to answer your questions. I think hopefully there's a meat shop, sweet shop. They're supposed to have an expiry date. Government is trying to impose these things, but they are creating problem and this thing. So this has to come. Okay. So I request Professor Chakraborty to, sir, do you have any question?
I have no question.
Okay, sir.
But I have told at the beginning, that is my actually emotion and
you have
my
already
delivery.
Okay. Now I request, sir, you, Professor Chakraborty, to, I think Professor Indranil Mukherjee is not available today. So kindly give the valedictory lecture today. And then
let us introduce today Professor Niladri to
Niladri
lecture. We have to give the new learned faculty members to the chance. So
no, he will give the vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks anybody can give. You can give it.
Okay. Then I request Niladri to give the valedictory lecture to conclude the program.
Actually, thank you all. One point I have to mention that that Poira sir, BB Poira sir mentioned that the food testing lab is very very important, because in our society lot of adulterate food are now implemented, or we found that. But one thing I have to mention that some private agency or private testing lab is already in our society. They tested they testing the food items from, and they collected samples from the different food companies, or vice versa, different food companies give their samples to them. But one negative point is that they done very well, their performance or their efficiency or the error percentage is very minimum. Experimental error percentage is very minimum. But one point I have to mention that, because in my PhD thesis I also done that. One sample they tested, they take actually they 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, like that. That is not achievable for the common people. So already this is implemented. Private agency actually now
Dr.
forward
Chakraborty,
on this
Dr.
direction.
Chakraborty,
But
Dr.
Actually,
Chakraborty,
yes, sir.
Dr.
Yes, sir.
Chakraborty,
Yes, sir.
just a point.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
have to be an independent director of a company, reputable company, who go for analysis, and they charge. Their equipments are very good, very sophisticated, possibly based in this part of
Yes,
the
sir.
country,
yes.
and they
Error
charge
percentage is minimum.
they
Yes, sir.
charge very high, very high, maybe thousands for a sample,
Very, very high.
maybe
Yes, yes.
3,500,
Yes, yes, yes.
4,000, 5,000, like that. So that is possibly not practicable for small
Yes, yes, yes.
businessmen or traders.
Yes,
Therefore,
yes.
the government should set up laboratories and test sample with minimum cost. Uh, that is not
Yes.
happening. That is the sorry part of it. And as
Yes.
Dr. Sevak
Yes,
Ranjan
that
Rai
is.
mentioned about these food inspectors, to my knowledge, they inspect the ration shops and this, that, and has no time to go for checking the quality of the food materials, be the raw materials
Yes,
nor
yes.
the products. That is what is my personal opinion.
Sir, I
Yes,
would like
yes.
to add one more thing, because this way, no, suppose one sample has been taken in, I know that the sample has been taken in, I was told when I was a student, that sample has been taken in 1977 because of the court cases. And this has been tested by this time. They are not properly tested, also properly maintained, stored. So that is what tested in 1982. Ultimately the result came erroneous. So the finally the court verdicted that got escaped from the punishment. So particularly for the food
Yes.
items, I am giving you
But anyway,
one.
please go on.
No, I am giving you
Professor
one more,
Chakraborty.
sir, one more. I would like to add one more job. Say, one more problem which I recently faced. You know, every day I take the milk. Actually, I was told that I should take the fat-free milk. So Sagar milk, Amul's product, this is NDDB product. You know, so this is I purchased from the local shop, and the card, while making the card, my this homemade in the home, we find that there is no formation of the card. This is just a bluish liquid, and that is the inoculum which is added. There's a floating on this thing. So I find that it's not milk probably. Immediately I took the packet, means and I called the they are the they have given some email also on the packet, and there's a contact number, so where the customer care. So I straight away talk to them, and they, after a long dilemma, so within a week's time, they responded. And they came to my house with some replacement. I wanted the and the replacement I have given my case also, but till date I did not get the test result. You know, this is the one example. And another example, when I was in Bombay, while with tea, I was just chewing one biscuit, and I find something hard. I find there's a iron chips there. So for immediately I talked to the parley. There's a manager. Fortunately, he was known to me. I called him, and they all came with a huge biscuit packets, and they took that. They're sorry, this happened, but these kind of things is not available nowadays. So this is a critical problem. So every stage in the processing, also in the quality control, everywhere we should check, in the supply chain or in the processing lab.
Okay.
And
Let Dr. Chakraborty continue. Dr. Chakraborty, please continue.
Yes, Poira sir. Sir, you are very correct that I done PhD program, and during that 2 to 3 lakhs I spent the testing from the outside private
you see.
agency. If that is available in our institute, that is very good. So I suggest all of you, all the food institutes, that they create themselves the special type of food testing lab oneself, because government cannot initiate anything, because they can just go for the voting. So all the food agencies or all the food institutes, I specially request you to set up a own lab, and they can collect the sample, and they can test, and they can take a very minimum price. That I also suggested in my previous HIT food technology department, but that was not implemented. But that must be implemented for each and every food institute, say where the food technology, food engineering, food courses are available now. They have to implement the small setup, like carbohydrate test, very simple test, protein test, moisture test, some adulteration test. I have some manuals of adulteration test. So they can charge very minimum. Say any private agency, they can charge carbohydrate testing 1,000 rupees. So if the food institute, they can create a separate type of laboratory that is not fit for the BTech students and the MTech or PhD research scholars. That is separately build up a type of laboratory. So the poor people or the outside people, they come, and and we will collect the sample from them, and we will charge a very minimum break-even point plus 50 rupees, like that. So,
So
this type of
you prepare a proposal for consideration of the Vice Chancellor.
okay.
You together with Dr. Sevak Ranjan Rai, and in consultation with Pranabes Babu, you form a proposal for the Vice Chancellor to sanction funds for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is not. Yes, sir. This is very correct. This is not for the BTech student and the MTech student usable laboratory. This is only for the testing. This is the first time
testing
I want to
testing and also training of people. Training of people to
training of the poor people. How they check the adulterants in the foods, because these adulterants are very much culprit in our body. Very minimum charge, training program, say 500 rupees, training program, just break-even point plus 100 rupees. Our target is that break-even point, this is break-even point plus 100 rupees, like that.
Professor Niladri, I will be requesting you to give a project along with the idea of making it a approved testing laboratory of the government.
Yes.
It will fetch money as well as the survival of the laboratory. By that money, we can
survival of the laboratory.
Some people who they can project the things in different parts of corners of West Bengal.
So, right now we are in the process of.
So we may attach with the private agency. We may attach with the private agency or other agency. They can bear some amount. Their logo will be there.
That will not do.
So like
no. Niladri,
that will not do.
Niladri, please don't do that.
No, that is not.
Okay.
You have your own facilities, and don't collaborate with the private parties in this.
No. That collaboration
with
is not
the other for
not permissible. That is not permissible.
Sir,
Okay.
shortly, we are
Okay.
trying to start a course on adulteration shortly for the
Okay.
Adultery.
people. Yeah. So
Okay.
after the lockdown is over, so we are planning. We have made our
I already,
proposal ready.
yes,
So this will be shortly.
I already preparing the manual.
Yeah, that's what he has been authorized. So this has
I
to
all,
be, this has to be actually. I had a talk with Professor B. Poira that that has to be made in Bengali, for the common people.
So you please speed up.
Yeah, sir, that is what we're doing. The first major part has been done.
Yes.
I asked Nilati Chakraborty to make the manual first.
So
So then
Dr.
after that,
I
Chakraborty,
already prepare.
there you say
Dr.
you can
Chakraborty,
add.
Yes, sir.
please hurry up. Please do
Sir, that
accelerate
we should
this.
make a manual in Bengali.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is what
Okay.
that is our objective.
Already
So,
it is to be completed. Only
yeah, you
two
send me-
days are required.
send me-
Already
Okay.
I completed.
Okay. So I hope next
2 days.
week I shall be getting it.
Yeah, sir, that
Yes, yes, yes. 100%.
no English you
sir.
can get, but the
Already I about to prepare.
okay, you
Okay,
complete the job. What I have asked you, I have
Ah.
given the material to you, and you make the manuals
Yes.
in English. I will convert it in Bengali and type it, and then I will send it to Professor V. Poira, Professor Pranvesh Chakraborty for authentication, and then it will come as a book, from the under
Yes.
MAKAUT level. So we are right now in the process of setting our labs. There's a lot of equipments are coming up. We are a very good team right now, a very good team, and we are going to do it definitely. We should
But,
train up. We should create a
Sheba,
awareness program. Yes.
let us formally close the meeting, and
Yeah,
then we
that's
can
fine.
still.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Chakraborty, you finish your valedictory
Yes, sir.
lecture. You finish that formally, and then we will have
Okay,
discussion.
Okay, okay. Okay. Actually, very nice lecture. All of the participant, particularly Madam, talked so much points. That is very valid points. Few valid points I encourage by her lecture. That is already I pointed out that the exchange system is very much necessary for the food items, because some of us do not exchange the food items. Some food are rotten, or some foods are not are destroyed. So after opening the packet, we found it, but the retail or the shopkeeper, they cannot exchange. So there is some rules and regulation must be provided. So madam's lecture, that is the exchange policy, is actually done by the some company that is highlighted by her lecture on case study. And she also pointed out the development of the supplier, development of the management, good retailer management, and very nice lectures. And she also how to told about how to manage the supply chain and their work and future challenges. That is very important. The future challenges are very important. And cold technology cold chain technology and the management is very important. So the nowadays we know that if the total preservation is 100%, out of 100%, 50% preservation are by use of the refrigeration or the freezing technique. So cold chain technology and the management must be expanded more and more, because the shelf life of the cold shelf life of the refrigerated and the frozen foods are so much long. And last and not the least, madam also told about the food regulations, food safety, food quality. That is very important, because already we talked about the adulterant food in our society. Full of, if there are 100 foods in our market, then 90 foods are completely adulterant. 5 foods are partially adulterated, and rest 5 are good. So that we the common consumer cannot chalk out. So that is why we are sometimes become unhealthy by taking the fast food or the outside food. So last and not the least, I thank to Sebok sir, and thank to Poira sir, and thank to special thanks to Pranvesh Chakraborty sir. And also I thanks to VC sir. He is not present on today's lecture, but his encouragement, a lot of encouragement, can empower us in future. And last and not the least, I especially thanks to all the participants and all the delegates and all
Ronil
the
sir has joined,
panelists,
sir.
and especially my beloved students.
Okay.
My beloved students. I think they learn a lot of things for today's lecture. And last, I will say that that the ultimate goal is that our ultimate behavior is our true identity. So our behavior or our nature অর্থাৎ বাংলায় যেটা বলা হয় যে আমার ব্যবহারই আমার পরিচয় আর কি, বা আপনার ব্যবহারই আপনার পরিচয়. So we have to maintain this in our management system. So this type of behavior also needed for long-term survival, long-term business policy, long-term cold chain policy or other like that, and honesty is the best policy. So thank you all the participants, all the delegates and all the panelists and students once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Professor
Now,
Professor Indranil Mukherjee has arrived.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I request Professor Indranil Mukherjee, welcome to our program. I request you to add few aspects on this food supply chain and retail management, and give the vote of thanks to the participants and the panelists on behalf of the university.
Thank you, Professor Roy. I'm sorry that I was very late in joining because of certain issues. So I could not listen to the whole lecture by Professor Manjira Kaur. However, I saw a very beautiful summing up by Professor Niladri Chakraborty. Thank you, Professor Chakraborty, for your beautiful deliberation. Now, what we would really like to do is, obviously, Professor Chakraborty has thanked everyone. Obviously, the many thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. He is the driving force, the inspiration behind all our activities, especially the webinars, which commenced after the lockdown. And he has been talking about this digital mode of teaching learning since a long time, championing it, in fact, ever since he took charge of our university in 2017. Secondly, our thanks to Professor Shebak Ranjan Rai, who took the lead in organizing this webinar. My very respected Professor B.B. Poira, who is like a father figure to all of us. Professor Prodobesh Chakraborty, he's like an elder brother to me. And Professor Niladri Chakraborty. So I hope that we will be able to take these things forward. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Now,
Thank you, sir.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. So, I thank you everybody for participating, particularly the participants and also the panelists in the panelists. And we got very good father-like figure like Professor B. Poira, Professor Pronovesh Chakraborty. Also encouraged me in doing so. Now we are very glad that this Manjira Kaur is appointed as a guest faculty for these subjects also for our third semester students. So thank you all of you. Thank you, Manjira. Thank you, Sir B. Poira, Professor Chakraborty and Niladri. Okay, bye. So we should meet in the next
Thank you, sir.
program. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank
Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to the panelists.
Okay, thank you.
Participants.
Thank you, participants. Okay.
And the
particularly,
feedback
I
link
must-
and the certificate link
certificate,
has
you
been
have,
posted in.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
But somebody, Prem, somebody is
Yes, sir.
asking that link